So there was a huge post from the Sorcery team and Erik's Curiosa. Arthurian Legends draft kits are now available for purchase on their web store. We got more information on social play kits, and we even got a brand new Arthurian Legends spoiler to drool over. Arthurian Legends introduces new rules for our draft and sealed events. The Sorcerer meta is over. The only avatar you can use not pulled out of the booster packs you're given at an event is Spellslinger. The only sites you can use not found in those packs are the new basic sites from Arthurian Legends: Spire, Valley, Wasteland, and Stream. None of which actually have any special abilities. They merely provide the threshold for their respective element. This kit is advertised as support for 4 players. But I had a chance to actually use these draft kits last Gen Con, just a couple of months ago, and I can tell you that 12 sites per element, that is not enough for 4 players. Sometimes you have several players who are wanting to go into the same color. Sometimes you have one person who just wants to do a monocolor deck. So it just doesn't work out. Like, I would say that if you are a store, or if you are someone who likes to host their own draft events at home, get 2 of these draft kits for every 4 players. Otherwise, you're going to end up having to proxy some of these sites, if not a lot of these sites, just to meet the needs of your players. The next thing that Erik's Curiosa mentions in this post is the social play kits. So these are the kits that specifically Sorcery Play Network stores receive in order to facilitate events in their play space. These would be stores that have already proven to have a track record of holding events in their space versus stores who are just now trying to get in. There is going to be an opportunity for those stores to get these kits later, but this won't come until November. Erik's Curiosa has already stated that these other stores will be able to order these kits through their website after they get verified as a Play Network store. Another note here, it does mention that they are sending a few extra store kits to distributors in order for those distributors to send out to their largest customers. I'm wondering about that. Like, I'm wondering if that is just to try to entice these large customers who may have larger stores to run events in their space. But honestly, I'm a little concerned about it because the largest of these customers at the distributors, they are just online resellers usually. I mean, they do have stores oftentimes, but most of their product does get sold online. So I'm wondering what's going to happen there, if we're going to see just a bunch of these kits and promos being put on eBay. We'll have to see what happens as this develops. So there are actually 2 store kits going out this time around. The first one we're going to look at here is the Arthurian Legends store kit. It has 4 2-player playmats. Each one is themed after a different element. It has 8 draft kits for limited play. It has 3 foil promo sorcerers with artwork by Frank Frazetta. And then it has 1 champion promo foil with artwork by Vincent Pompetti. So this is a pretty cool kit. I love the playmats. The playmats are really cool. Having 1 for each element is sweet. I am so tired of looking at the Battlefield playmats and the Donnybrook Inn playmat. It's better than Battlefield, but still, I'm just so tired of looking at those playmats. We even recently had an event where it was Bring Your Own Playmat Day, just so we didn't have to play with the same playmats we've been playing with for weeks, months. So everybody brought like a single player playmat and we had a lot of fun. But yeah, these are really cool. I'm excited to see these on the tables. I like the draft kits. I kind of wish there were more draft kits because, like I said, 8 draft kits is really only enough for 16 players. If you want to have an event with more than 16 players, you're probably going to end up proxying cards, unless some of the players have their own sites. Really cool to see Frank Frazetta make a comeback here. We have 3 foil promo sorcerers here with Frank Frazetta art. That's sweet. I like that. The champion promo foil, I kind of wish it was a different style. Vincent Pompetti does a good job, but it looks a lot like the sorcerer, so I wish there was a little bit of variation there, but still really cool. I think this is going to be a great store kit that people will love to see, and love. I think the players will love to play for these promos here. So moving on to the second social store play kit, we have the beta play kit making a comeback here, except instead of the mortality playmats, we have 2x divine healing single player playmats, which is awesome. Can't wait to see that in person. We have the 2 Donnybrook Inn 2-player playmats coming back, 18 Altart Bone Ravels, and 3 foil Altart Bone Ravels, as well as the Champion promo foil by Vincent Pompetti. Now I'm pretty happy to see these beta store kits making a comeback. I love the Champion promo in this kit specifically. I think me and a lot of the players at my store at Games Ahoy, we prefer this promo over the Alpha promo, the Champion promo, and honestly, I prefer this one over the new one in Arthurian Legends even. It's just like something about the color, it really pops. Something about it just calls to me. I really like the idea of having all these Bone Ravel promos coming back. Now I don't know how many of these store kits each store is going to get. But I mean, there's a total of 22 promos in this kit, and then you have the playmats, the Divine Healing playmat. On top of that, that's really cool. I think it's very important for Sorcery to continue to support the LGS. I think that's where the majority of all the new players are going to be coming from going forward. And having these promos available so that they can advertise to the players and get them coming back consistently through the door to play to win these prizes. It's very important, because when a new player comes in, if they don't see any players playing, well, why would they pick up the game? If they see people playing back there, the seats are full, that's something they want to get into, especially with the Sorcerer community. You guys are always so cool. Like everyone is very nice in the Sorcerer community. The people at my store are probably the nicest guys you'll ever meet. Every new player we bring in to Sorcery, I think that the biggest, one of the biggest pluses is just how freaking nice the people are at my store. Like, it's crazy how fun it is to play with these guys. So enough of that, enough of promos, enough of playmats. Let's get on to spoilers. So I actually missed a couple of spoilers last week, so we'll go over those, but first I'm going to go over this new one that they just spoiled. Its name is Merlin, and this is a wizened old man Merlin. It's a cool artwork. I kind of wish it was like a young Merlin. It's like, because Merlin has the power to like shapeshift and or disguise, make people think that you're someone else. So I kind of wanted to see like a young Merlin, some dude that looks like he's in his prime. But anyway, this card is 3 mana for 3 power. It requires 3 air threshold. That's a lot of air threshold. It's gonna be tough to slot into 2 and 3 color decks. It's a unique mortal spellcaster. So we have a spellcaster that's 3 for 3. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. Spellcasters are underrated. Being able to, you can do multiple things with spellcasters, but honestly, just for proximity spells, especially we have stuff like mesmerism coming out that lets you take control of an enemy minion. Spellcasters are important. They're a little bit underutilized at the moment. So seeing Merlin as spellcaster, it makes sense, but still really cool that it's 3 for 3 and spellcaster. And then on top of that, we have anytime during your turn, Merlin may look at your next spell and may cast it if it's a magic spell. Now that is crazy good with burn. Like, I think that this is going to help burn pop off more than anything else. You could say that, oh man, this is probably only good in a deck that just plays with a ton of magic spells, but honestly, most decks out there right now are pretty close to half. Like, half the deck is magic. Usually, the decks I see are usually like somewhere between 14 and 20 magic spells. I think this is pretty common actually to see. Very common to see 18 magic spells in a deck. So even in a deck that's not really focused on magic, Merlin could slot in and do some work. To be honest, even just looking at your next spell, that alone is actually a pretty big deal. Like, getting that information is pretty important. I think it's funny too. It says anytime during your turn, Merlin may look at your next spell. So what do? You pull the card off the top of your spell book and then keep it keep it face down so you don't look at it, but Merlin can see it on on the playmat. You show it to Merlin, you see it, Merlin, and you have to trust Merlin that it's a magic spell. No, I'm just kidding. So moving on, the next spoiler here, I missed Babbling Brook. Babbling Brook says, Genesis, until your next turn, minions are disabled while atop nearby sites. That is busted. That is so good. That is a huge boon for water decks. I don't know if this is exceptional or elite though. It's really hard. I've tampered with this card, you know, so it's more legible. This is not the original text. The original picture is very blurry. It's very hard to see any of the text. So we'll have to find out if it's exceptional or elite. This sounds like an elite type of card, but who knows? I mean, Gnome Hollow is exceptional. Free City is exceptional. Quagmire, I think it's very possible it's exceptional. And then there was another one that we missed too. Dosmary Pool. Dosmary Pool says that if you have 3 water threshold, it has a Genesis, and it counts toward its third, because Dosmary Pool itself is water, when you play this, it would recognize itself as the 3rd water threshold that you have in the field. And then it says, Genesis, you may submerge an artifact from your hand here. So in the last video, I talked about wanting more cards that would support treasures, playing with treasures. This is definitely one of those cards. Now this is unique. Again, I scribbled out the blurry text, but this is a unique site. Unfortunately, there aren't a whole lot of artifacts that you submerge from your hand. So most likely this being unique, I mean, it's unfortunate, but when you see this card, you probably just won't have an artifact to submerge with it. Like you would have to have this in your opening hand and then like hold it, I guess, and wait for an artifact to come. Because most likely if it's not in your opening hand or you don't draw it in your first couple of side draws, or just first side draw, like most likely you're just going to play your artifact that you end up drawing and then you just won't have an artifact to use it with. We'll see. But I mean, I really wish it was elite, but doesn't, like, I'm happy to see it no matter what. Elite, unique. Like, I want to be able to play treasures. This helps with Angel's Egg too, like not having to have a minion under the site, because usually you would have to have a minion under a site to be able to play your egg equipped to that minion underwater. Otherwise you have to play the egg on top of the site. So this allows you to play that Angel's Egg underwater without having to have a submerged minion there. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So yeah, that wraps it up. These 3 spoilers, I mean, if we want to talk about whether they're good in sealed or draft, I mean, they're all good. Like, I mean, these are I mean, Dosmary Pool actually in sealed and draft, I don't see it really seeing a whole lot of play because most likely you're not playing with artifacts that you want to submerge from your hand. So that one's probably not going to see limited play. But Merlin and Babbling Brook, Merlin, I mean, just 3 for 3. Now it does have 3. It does require 3 air thresholds, so that's a little tough. But he can still be played in a majority air deck. 3 for 3 already is fine. Good. He's a spellcaster, and if you load it up with a few magic spells, then all the better. He is easy. He's a little bit easy to remove because he's 3 power. But he's worth. I mean, if you just get 1 spell off him, you play him. And you get to look at the top of your spell book and you get 1 spell off with him. I mean, that's amazing just with 1 spell. So that's it. What do you guys think about the announcements from Erik's Curiosa? I'm very excited that they are sending out these store kits soon. I didn't mention before that the store kits are going to be late to the Play Network stores. I don't think they're coming until the 2nd wave of Arthurian Legends, which is going to be towards the end of October. So if you are a store and you're hoping to have your play kit on time, or if you're a player and you're hoping that your store is going to have play kits and promos on October 4th, that's not going to happen. They're coming later on in October, unfortunately. But I know that at Games Ahoy we still plan to run events with those promos as prizes on the line, and we're just going to promise them to the player. So that's something we've done before with other games that have had delays on their promos. We still run the event. We just promise them the promo at a later date, and they're fine with that. Like most players have no issue whatsoever. So what did you guys think about the promos in the store kits, the new ones, the Sorcerer, the Frank Rosetta promo? What did you think about these spoilers? I love these spoilers. These are really 3 really good spoilers, so it gets me even more excited for Arthurian Legends. And again, there is a main event coming up October 5th, Saturday. If you're in America and you missed the Spielessen event, it is going to carry on in Texas. I'll be there commentating. This is going to start around 2 p.m. Central Time, I believe. I'll have to double check on that. But yeah, can't wait to see you guys there. Let's catch you on the next video.